Hey, two Texas Blades here. Today we're going to take a look at the Grylls folding, what is it, the Scout knife. I think it's like their folding survival knife is what they call it. I think it would be a cool knife for EDC as well. This isn't my knife, this is my nephew's knife. He lost it in my couch and actually had to cut the bottom of my couch to find it, but I found it for him. It's been heavily used by him. I've been using it for a couple days now, just playing around with it. I've been carrying in it a little bit, so I do have a little bit of insight on it, not much. This is going to be one of the knives I'm not going to be able to do an update on due to the fact that it's not my knife. I'm not going to be carrying it for very long, but I do have some specs on it, stuff like that we'll go over, and then I'll show you some pros and cons about the knife itself. It is a drop point blade. Still, the only thing I could find on it was high carbon stainless steel. That's the only thing I could find out. Somebody said something about some kind of Chinese steel that's equivalent to 440A stainless, which isn't the best kind of stainless steel out there. It's kind of a little bit more prone to rusting. Just because it's stainless steel doesn't mean it won't rust. It just means it stains less. It does have dual thumb studs, so you could, left hand carry, right hand carry. It has jimping on the handle and the blade itself, right above the thumb studs. It is a lock back, so here's your locking mechanism. It's half serrated, half plain. It's not, obviously not equivalent to half and half, but it's what I call half and half. There's zero play in this blade. I mean, there's nothing there, front, back, side. There's really no play at all. So that's an excellent thing about it. It does have some kind of coating on it, and you can see the knife has been used, and the coating is holding up fairly well. It's 7.3 inches overall, 4 inches closed, 3.63 inch blade, weighs 2.4 ounces in cost, and it fluctuates quite a bit from around $30 to $45. Now, if you pay $45 for it, you really should have done some more shopping. However, I found that some of the $30 places you buy it, a couple of them have been known to give out knockoffs. It's pretty much a knockoff Grylls blade. Comes with a lifetime Gerber warranty inside the USA. Now, I'm not sure what that means outside the USA. I think it's like 10 years, 20 years, something like that. But it does have a full lifetime warranty through Gerber here in the US. Now, a little bit about the knife. It does come with a clip on the back of it. However, this clip is not reversible, so you can't put it on the other side. You see here, there's a hole in the top. There's a screw underneath there. That's what that hole is for, so you can access the screw. And then there's one here, and there's one of these on the other side, but it's a little bit bigger, and there's no back hole. So there's no way to actually switch around this clip, so you're going to be carrying tip down, blade forward, which I know some of you guys don't like. Some of you guys, don't want to get your hand cut when you're down in there pulling out of your pocket, pulling other things out of your pocket. You can always move it to the front of your pocket, so you're going in this way, but your front of your pocket's not as deep as the back of your pocket, etc., etc. Plenty of complaints about this with most people. I do kind of like it. I like the fact that it's a lower profile carry, so when it's in your pocket you don't have a whole quarter inch of handle sticking out. I did notice it's just enough handle that you can see it just a little bit, but other than that, it's fine to carry. I can reach down in my pocket. I have plenty of room here to grip it and pull it out, and that's where I came up with another problem on it. This clip is very stout, and it presses your jean material, like sandwiches it in between the metal on the clip and the actual rubber of the handle. And this is just the what would you call it, the regular rubber handle that they use on Grylls products. It's the same kind of rubber that's on the Parang and on I guess on the Mini Scout that we did a review on. It's just plastic. But the rest of them have the same kind of gray rubber handle and orange plastic. But yeah, it's hard to pull out one-handed. You know, I reach in there and pull it out with 2 fingers. It wants to pull my pocket up with it. So that was just a little bit of a problem. I don't know. You could probably flex that out a little bit and bend it a little bit out and get it to be, you know, I know why they did it. They did it, you know, it's sold as a survival knife, so when it's in your pocket, you're jumping around in the woods or whatever. You don't want it to fall out your pocket, but I very rarely roll around on the ground or do too much jumping. I'm more of a go-around type guy when I'm in the woods, so, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with losing it. It's more, is it accessible with one hand, you know? Literally, if you're wearing shorts or something, you have to hold the pocket and pull it out the top. So it can be a pain in the ass to pull out, but God, that didn't sound right. But anyways, it is what it is. It works. It's, you know, there's some things about the knife that's left desirable to me, more like if they did just a plain edge, and I'm going to show you why. My nephew has used this knife quite a bit, and I can't really get my hand up in there. I hope it's coming up because I cannot see the screen, but I want you to look at those serrations. And this is why I think they should never put serrations on a survival knife, first off. But I don't like them on any of my knives. My EDC is the Gerber paraframe. It has them, and that's really one of the only complaints I have about it. And the other complaint I had about it was the liner lock. I don't generally go in for liner locks, but I'm going to tell you what, since I've been carrying this knife, every time I go to close it, I'm constantly doing this. Going to look for that liner lock. It's much easier to close a liner lock to me one-handed than it is to close a lock back. So, decent deployment, works well. I hope that's showing up on them teeth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the knife for them. I'm going to fix those serrations. If you can see, 2 tips of the serration are bent that way, which you probably not. It's not going to pick that up, I'm sure. And then the rest of them are just broke off. I think he does a little bit of batoning and stuff with this knife as well, just kind of playing around. I mean, it's sold as a survival knife, so he tests his survival knives as if he were in a survival scenario, you know, which I think most kids would, most younger guys would, whatever. So far, I like the knife. I don't like the serrations. Pocket clip needs to be a little bit looser, and that may be something totally different. That, you know, I think that's more opinion than anything. I think that's more of a personal preference. I don't think that's written in stone that that's a problem with the knife, because I think some people may like that it has so much grip in the pocket, because they're not going to lose it. For sure, this thing's not just going to fall out. I don't care how much rolling around you do. The jimping, I do like the jimping. However, it kind of shows how much eye to detail Gerber puts into their knives. Now it's just not what it used to be. You can look at this jimping, some of the jimping on it, and again, it's probably not going to pick it up, but some of that jimping is almost shaped like a champagne glass, like it cuts in on this one, the second one back, and then the third one back. It does it a little bit. That's just something I noticed, and I know it's not anything he did by beating on this thing or anything, because the plastic around it's perfect. So whoever they got, you know, whatever machine they got or whatever, cutting in the jimping on the handle, could have did a better job of that. For what you're paying for the knife, it should be, you know, perfect jimping. However, that being said, I think it's just the perfect kind of jimping. The handle's really nice, fits nice in the hand, and this jimping works well. I've very rarely found myself using the jimping up here so far. I tend to lean towards the jimping on the handle itself. You can press down on it nice, works good. It's not going to wear out your finger. It's not so aggressive that it's going to make your thumb raw, but it's aggressive enough that you have grip on it. It gives you nice grip right there, so I enjoy that. Overall, I think it's a cool knife. We're not going to rate it or anything like that. I don't think we've put in enough use with it yet. So maybe after I fix it up a little bit, I can talk my nephew into letting me keep it for a couple weeks and doing a little bit of work with it, playing around with it. Maybe we'll do an update and rate it, something like that. But then again, this may be the last time you see this knife on my channel. That being said, I love Grylls products. I know everybody likes to knock them. I just want to say something. If you take a knife, let's say, let's call this knife A, let's call this knife B. I know it's not a knife, but we're going to use it. I could have grabbed one of the knives in front of me off the wall, but I didn't. I grabbed some fingernail pliers, clippers. This is knife A, this is knife B. Knife A sells 1,000 units, and you have one break. Okay, what is that? You know, one break out of 1,000. Then you have a knife, you sell 10,000 knives, 10,000 units of unit B sell, and you have 10 of them break. How's that any different in numbers to this other one? When you sell over 1 million survival knives at one time, you better bet there's going to be a lot more than the guy who only sold 10,000 units, you know. It's like comparing Bear Grylls Gerber products to, let's just say, Schrade. Comparing it to Schrade, you can't tell me that the numbers are that much different, that Schrade breaks, you know, a lot less than Bear Grylls when there's 1 million units out there. Of course there's going to be 20 videos on the knife breaking. You know what I mean? There's 1 million of them sold. There's a lot of people out there that's going to try to break them just to see if they can, kind of like my nephew did with this one. He played with it a lot, played with it hard, wasn't scared to break it, didn't break it, chewed up the serrations, and that was it. So, I'm just saying, you know, I think Bear Grylls gets a bad rap on his knives and other gear. I've played around with quite a bit of his gear. I own about 4 pieces now, and I've liked them all. Everything I've gotten I've enjoyed, including the Parang. I love the Parang. It's my favorite machete right now. It's what I carry with me. And that's it. I don't carry another machete. I'm actually looking into the Kershaw Camp series and the SOG machetes. I think I'm going to pick up the SOG first because I've done a lot of research on it, and I think I'm going to like it a lot better, so we're going to pick it up. But other than that, I'm just going to I'm going to keep using the Bear Grylls Parang, and I'm going to throw the SOG machete on my bug out bag. So that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, YouTube.